It's a soggy day at the ballpark. Ernie might be saying, let's just play one today. We will start under a slight rain delay. Cardinals and Cubs. The Cubs go for the sweep. It's the Hyundai leadoff man on WGN Sports. Hi again, everyone. You see the tarp behind me. I'm Len Casper. Shouldn't be a very long delay. They're waiting for this front to pass on through, and we should have a nice window to get in the finale of this series and homestand. The Cubs are 3-2 on this day, and they have already clinched their first winning series of the season. Let's get the highlights of another thriller last night here at the ballpark, and a couple of controversial calls in this game would eventually lead to the ejection of Mike Matheny. First inning, Starlin Castro with a sac fly. Carlos Beltran, the throw to the plate. David DeJesus somehow got in on the plate. Right there, he finally did. No tag applied. Cubs lead 1-0. Jeff Samardzija had his splitter working beautifully last night. 9 strikeouts in 6 2/3 innings. He gave up just 4 hits and no runs. But in the 8th inning against Carlos Marmol, 2 outs, Matt Holliday just getting one into the front row of the bleachers in left center. 2-run homer. It's 2-1 Cardinals. The Cubs would come back and tie it. First pitch of the bottom of the ninth. Brian Lahair's first hit this season off a lefty, off Mark Zepchinski. To the opposite field, 2-2. Cubs go to extras for the first time this season. Here's controversial call number 2. Tony Campana steals second base. Called save. Mike Matheny argued he got kicked out. And then that's called a base hit as Alfonso Soriano drives in Campana. Cubs win in dramatic fashion in their final at bat for the second consecutive night. 3-2 the final, as James Russell gets the win over Fernando Salas, and the Cubs hand the Cardinals their first series loss of 2012. They'll go for the sweep today as Chris Volstad will face right-hander Lance Lynn for the Cardinals. We'll go to break and remind you that the leadoff man is brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. Check out the award-winning Hyundai Sonata at myhyundaichicago.com. Burkall starts it at 3:47. Matt Carpenter filling in for the injured Lance Berkman at first. Holiday with that big home run last night. Carlos Beltran has always hit the ball well here at Wrigley. David Freese is at third. Yadier Molina behind the plate. Daniel Descalzo gets the start at second. Shane Robinson's in center, and the pitcher Lance Lynn with a hit in each of his first 3 starts.
And let's check out how the Cubs take the field defensively today. Behind Chris Volstad, brought to you by Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Soriano, Campana, and DeJesus left to right across the outfield today. It'll be Stewart, Castro, Barney, and LaHare across the infield, third to first. Steve Clevenger getting the nod behind the plate. Day game after a night game, and he'll be receiving pitches from right-hander Chris Volstad. Just like to get a win, to get that monkey off his back. I mentioned strike thrower, keeps the ball down, gets a lot of ground balls. Unfortunately, the curse of a sinker ball pitcher, some of those ground balls have found holes with runners on base.
Volstad came over from the Miami Marlins for Carlos Zambrano. January 5th. Volstad without the long sleeve undershirt. He's from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, but he's never been comfortable with long sleeves. So even on a cool day, kind of has that look of a guy who's from the Yukon territory. We are underway. Ball 1 to Rafael Furcal, who is just 2 out of 21 against Cubs pitching this season. A 20-minute rain delay.
Mentioned Furcal struggles against the Cubs this year. It's a good way to beat this Cardinals team if you can keep the table setters off base ahead of Holiday, Beltran, Freese, and Molina. Obviously, that's going to minimize their chances of driving home some big runs. And Furcal, with his speed, when he gets on, he's their version of Tony Campana. He makes some things happen. He forces the pitcher to think about him. Gives Mike Matheny some options to play hit and run, steal bases.
Wind has shifted out of the east now at 5 miles an hour. 53 degrees, officially at game time. Castro got him for out number 1.
And Dale Swaim and Cubs coaching staff have been working with Starlin Castro on nearly a daily basis on his mechanics out there at shortstop, his rhythm. If we could eliminate one crow hop, it'd make a lot of those places or calls a little easier over there at first base. And every ground ball that Furcal has hit to Castro in this series has been bang bang over there at first base.
Matt Carpenter pounds a ground ball just inside the line, fielded by LaHare, who tags a bag. 2 outs. It'll bring up Matt Holliday, who hit the go-ahead 2-run homer in the 8th off Carlos Marmol last night.
I heard skipper Dale Swaim talking about it after the ball game, and he mentioned the fact that Matt Holliday is one of the best breaking ball strike hitters in the National League, and that's exactly what he got from Carlos Marmol. Slider that just never really took the break, just kind of spun up there on the inside part of the plate. I would expect Volstad to throw a lot of fastballs, especially up in the zone, up above the top of the zone if possible, to Matt Holliday today.
And that's kind of a new pitch for Chris, the four-seamer. Has to throw that sinker, and he gets 3 ground ball outs. Cubs come up against Lance Lynn from Wrigley. Pepsi Max, the official soft drink of MLB. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Lots of lefties in there today. DeJesus, Campana. You got Starlin Castro at short. Brian LaHair is hot. Alfonso Soriano at left. Ian Stewart trying to get hot. Steve Clevenger hitting over 500 to start the year with Darwin Barney 8 and the pitcher Volstad 9.
Quick look at the Cardinals defensively. Matt Holliday once again in left field. Shane Robinson in center. Carlos Beltran over in right field. David Freese at third base. Rafael Furcal at short. Daniel Descalso getting the nod at second base today, while Matt Carpenter will man first base. Yadier Molina once again behind the plate today with a big right-hander, Lance Lynn.
You aren't kidding. 6'5", 250 pounds.
4-pitch guy, actually a 5-pitch guy. He throws a 4-seamer and a 2-seam sinking fastball, curve, slider, changeup in that order of preference.
David DeJesus will start it, followed by Campana and Castro.
A leadoff double would be nice. David DeJesus did it twice in the ball game last night, including leading off the bottom half of the first inning.
Lynn's first pitch is a sinker for a strike. He's in the rotation because Chris Carpenter has some nerve irritation in his right shoulder and started the year on the disabled list. Lynn has allowed 1 run in each of his first 3 starts, including that April 14th outing against the Cubs in St. Louis. And he beat Chris Volstad 5-1. Born in Marion County, Indiana, went to the University of Mississippi. Didn't seem to labor a whole lot that afternoon in St. Louis. '39th overall pick, supplemental round in 2008. And his 1-2 is outside as he makes his Wrigley Field debut. DeJesus made his Wrigley Field debut on opening day and has gotten really comfortable in right. He's made some good plays out there.
You know, Len, much like Adam Wainwright in the ball game last night, Lance Lynn works from that extreme first base side of the rubber.
Deep drive out into left center. Back on the warning track. It's going to be caught by Matt Holliday right in the vines as DeJesus gave it a ride.
David DeJesus has hit some balls extremely hard. I mentioned it last night going back to that Miami series in South Florida. A lot of deep drives to left center and straight away center. All for naught. That time Matt Holliday flushed a bird out of the vines out there. Good bird dog. Here you see Lance Lynn working from the far first base side of that rubber, give himself the best possible angle with that sinking fastball, which is the pitch he'll throw most often.
Here's Campana. Really struggled in spring training and basically was the last position player to miss the opening day roster, but called up on Saturday and he's been really good. 5 hits, a walk, 4 steals and a run.
Tony will be the first one to admit he put a lot of pressure on himself in spring training this year. Joe Mather was having an unbelievable spring that he figured to be competing against for a backup outfielder spot. But as the regular season got underway down in Iowa, he just continued to do what he's done throughout his minor league career. Slap the ball around the field, bunt his way on base, and put pressure on the defense once he does get on.
Still 2-2.
Since his recall here to the major leagues, Tony's hit some balls right on the butt. He's a guy, especially with 2 strikes, just tries to protect that plate, splash the ball out into left field, somewhere on the left side of the infield, try to leg it out for an infield hit. But he's been hitting some line drives.
Breaking ball just missed. It's 3-2 with Castro waiting on deck. I'll tell you what, Starlin will better be at full attention in this spot in the on deck circle, because we know Campana will wait and swing late. Castro standing about 30 feet away from him. Actually, everybody down that third baseline better be at full attention.
Everybody on the left side of the ballpark should be careful.
Another 3-2 pitch, and he got him that time. A swing and a miss. Here comes Castro. Struck out in his final 3 at bats last night. Went 0 for 4 with a sac fly, and his 11-game hitting streak come to an end. Still hitting .338 on the year, and has been the only Cub position player to start all 19 games. And a base hit. So he starts a new hitting streak.
Starlin looked a little jumpy at the plate last night, especially those last 3 at bats you talked about. He struck out all 3 times, swung at some really bad pitches, but takes this Lance Lynn slider right back up the middle of the field. That's his strength. Hit it to the big part, gap to gap, 2-out single into center field.
Brian LaHare, who tied it up on the first pitch of the bottom of the 9th off a lefty last night.
Yeah, we talked about it at the time, Len. Brian LaHair's a guy that has faced lefties in the minor leagues last year. When he got to the major leagues, he faced lefties. In winter ball, he faced lefties. So it's not totally out of the question that this is a guy that could end up facing righties and lefties on a full-time basis. The issue, as Dale Swaim said, is the fact that Jeff Baker crushes lefties so well that you want to get his bat in the lineup too.
That home run was the first by a Cub in 10 games, and the first since LaHair hit a grand slam in St. Louis on April 13th.
Nearly the same location, left center field down in St. Louis, and landed in the Cubs bullpen in left center last night. Just tucked it into the front row above the basket.
There's the kick in the 0-2. It's outside on a curveball. Every NL Central team except for the Reds already in action today. Keep you posted on the Astros and Brewers. Pirates hosting the Rockies in a doubleheader. 4-4 Houston and Milwaukee in the top of the 5th. And the Pirates are trailing the Rockies 2-1 in the top of the 8th in game 1. Pedro Alvarez with his 3rd homer of the season for the Bucks. One-two changeup is outside. Another fastball that time on the 2-2 pitch. And Lynn with 2 strikeouts in the first. We are scoreless after 1.
You can visit Cubs.com and click on the CBOE Front Row Seats auction to bid on tickets in the front row behind home plate and along the first base line. Front row seats will be auctioned off to every game all season long, so don't miss your chance. Go to Cubs.com and check out the CBOE Front Row Seats auction today.
Carlos Beltran leading off the Cardinals second.
He just snatched it up. He just snatched it up. That's a good pitch.
I think you could probably hear Jeff Nelson telling the Cardinal dugout that was a good pitch. They didn't think so.
And one of the red seams caught the bottom of the strike zone there. I'm sure that's a pitch Mike Matheny and Derek Lilliquist would like to get for their own pitcher on the mound, that low sinker.
Bob, I noticed Mike Matheny did come out to exchange the lineup card today. Jamie Quirk, the Cubs bench coach, handed in the Cubs lineup. A fly ball out into left center. Soriano will make the catch. The few times you were ejected, did you make a note to come out to home plate? If Matheny hadn't, would that have been bad form? Does it matter?
I don't think it really matters much. You know, one particular instance I wanted to apologize because after looking at a replay from several different angles, I realized like many times I was wrong, so I wanted to go out and tell the offended umpire that it was my bad and apologize for that. But I don't think there's any protocol for what you should do after an ejection as far as the lineup card the next day. For some guys, they probably should stay in the dugout so they don't get ejected before the game even starts. And that has happened before. You still got a beef with an umpire from the night before. You take out the lineup card the next day and you haven't cooled off sufficiently to handle your duties as a manager, and you find yourself right back up in your office for the second day in a row.
2-1 to David Freese. Two and two.
Part of the problem as a player or a coach or a manager, Lynn, I think it's impossible to watch this game without biased eyes. You're always wanting to see a call go your way, even those bang bang calls, sometimes ones that are even more obvious than that. You don't always see them the way they really happen. I think occasionally that's what gets managers in trouble. Last night, as we showed you on our replays, Mike Matheny had a legitimate beef at second base.
Well, tag plays generally are black and white. However, pitch calls, check swings, as Barney will range to his glove side and get Freese. There are many calls per game that I believe really could go either way. And that's the great thing about this game. But as you say, if you're on the bad end of a few of those calls,
not so great.
You can get the you know what. Molina with 2 outs. Guys really have had Volstad's number. Holiday and Molina each 6 for 14 coming in. Looks like Chris has his good sinker working today. A lot of late tailing movement for the right-handed hitter. Slider strike. 1-2. And a ground ball picked up by Castro. Plenty of time. What a play. The spin and throw to get Molina after an inning and a half. 0-0.
WGN.com right now and click on the WGN Sports Game Zone banner to connect to all the up-to-the-minute stats and information while you're watching at home. Game Zone is sponsored by The Great Escape, pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more.
We think Wrigley Field's a great escape as well. By the way, a happy birthday wish goes out to the Chicago Cubs, turning 136 today. Means free dessert. April 25th, 1876, the then White Stockings with a 4-0 win at Louisville. Alfonso Soriano with 4 hits over the last 2 days. It's good to see. Opposite field leadoff single.
We've been bemoaning the fact that Soriano doesn't have a home run. Got his first extra base hit in the ball game last night, but a lot of that is the fact that he's going to the opposite field a lot more often this year. With the lack of power in this Cubs lineup, Soriano is one guy that can beat you with one swing of the bat, and most pitchers, especially with runners on base in close games, are choosing just to stay away from him, and he's taking his base hits to the opposite field.
Up there struggling Ian Stewart. He's 1 out of 17 on the homestand. Minute rain delay before the first pitch. As we play the bottom of the second. Additional note on the 136th anniversary of this franchise's first ever game. Of the 8 original charter members of the National League, the Cubs are the only of those franchises to have stayed in the same city the entire time. Stewart could not hold up.
Why would you want to leave?
I'm with you.
One thing you'll notice in the ball game today, Lance Lynn rarely, if at all, will shake off Yadier Molina behind the plate.
Try to turn 2, and they do. 4-6-3. Started by Descalzo. You only know Rafael Furcal, one of the strongest throwing arms in the majors, at short.
Yeah, Furcal can occasionally make up for lost time. That ball wasn't hit particularly hard to the right side. Right there, Furcal makes up for it with that strong right throwing arm and plenty of time to get Ian Stewart at first.
The White Stockings that 1876 season went 52-14, averaged 9.5 runs per game. Gave up under 4 runs per contest. That's a pretty good year right there.
Yes.
And only went 4-6 in 1-run decisions, though.
Score 9 runs a game, you don't have a lot of 1-run decisions. Be 30th. You're going to get tired of looking through those glasses.
1-2 to Steve Clevenger. has massacred righties this year. 10 for 17 versus right-handers. And here he goes into the left field corner. Make it 11 for 18.
Steve Clevenger on the season like a good Saturday night in Wrigleyville. 5 doubles. 4 of them have come down into that left field corner. He stays in there so well with 2 strikes, really uses his hands, lets the ball get deep into the hitting area, and then another line drive into the left field corner.
Barney's hitting 8th. And he takes a strike. Got Volstad on deck. Bounces past Molina. A wild pitch allowing Clevenger to get the third.
We've seen a couple of backhanded efforts by Yadier Molina in this series on those pitches that bounce so far out in front of home plate. That one's pulled over into that left-handed batter's box. He just tries to reach across his body much like a first baseman would picking a throw out of the dirt, and that one goes all the way to the bricks. Must have blocked 50 pitches in the dirt last night, most of them with runners on base.
Meantime, a 1-1 on the way to Barney, and he was late on that heater. One and two. Foul tip to end the inning. 3 Ks for Lynn through 2. We're scoreless. WGN TV is brought to you by Bud Light. It's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. A little wet and damp, but seems to be getting nicer and nicer every hour or so here at Wrigley. Forecast holding up.
Before we get started here in the top half of the third, Len, we want to wish a speedy recovery to Lorraine Sullivan, recovering in Resurrection Hospital. Big time Cubs fans. We miss her out here at the ballpark, and I want to see her back here very soon.
Same for Robert Chamberlain, the Cubs press room chef. Was a little under the weather today. Daniel Descalso has the first hit for St. Louis. Bring up the number 8 hitter Shane Robinson. Talking about anniversaries, Steve Theobald on Twitter wants to know how about a shout out for Rick Monday. It was on this date in 1976 when he rescued the flag at Dodger Stadium. You got it.
Absolutely.
It's a big date in Cubs history. Robinson does square to bunt. I mentioned Lynn with 3 hits already. That is a factor. He's on deck. You can email us at lenandbob@tribune.com. And also follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. Yeah, normally in this particular spot, you would not expect the number 8 hitter to try a sacrifice bunt. We saw Robinson at least square on the first pitch. Not this time, and he laces it foul. Ooh. Hit the brick ledge, and hopefully everybody is okay.
Robinson tried to use that the decoy show bunt on the first pitch and then try to smack one past the third baseman on the next delivery. That time he was way out in front and hooked it foul into the Cubs bullpen.
Ground ball gets through. And that'll bring up the pitcher with 2 on and nobody out.
Pitcher number 31, Lynn.
Robinson, both balls hard in that at bat. The foul that he pulled down the third baseline, and then that base hit he shot through the right side to put Cardinals at first and second. Lynn does not have a sac bunt yet this season, but I would expect to see him try to put one down right here.
I think you're right. Even though he does have 3 hits and 8 at bats, got a ground ball pitcher out there. Matheny hoping he doesn't ground into a triple play. Bunts it foul.
And if there's any doubt in your mind, that's where Dale Swaim could put on that inside move to second base, where Chris Volstad comes to a set position, picks up that front foot and turns towards second, and hope to get Lance Lynn at the plate to show what he's going to do. For playing the Cardinals so many times every year. In years past, Tony La Russa had his pitchers square around very early and pull the bat back, and then most of the time come back again and put the sacrifice bunt down. There was such chicanery here in this at bat for Lance Lynn.
That's a good word. And he couldn't pull the bat back in time, according to Bill Welke at first. So that's a strikeout.
Primary concern wasn't getting the bat back out of the strike zone. It was getting out of the way. Nasty sinking fastball that was headed way inside to Lance Lynn. First out of the inning.
Paul scored his 1,000th career run last night. The days after playing in his 1,500th game. Scalzo at second, Robinson at first, and the 0-1. Low 1-1.
Talked a lot about Furcall's speed. Still runs extremely well, but he did hit into a double play in the ball game last night in the third inning after a leadoff walk to Shane Robinson. And Wainwright punched out, and then Furcall grounded into a double play.
Lazy fly to left. And the runners will hold up as Soriano makes the grab. And it's Matt Carpenter.
Big at bat early in the ball game here, Len. I've heard Ryan Dempster and other Cubs pitchers use that term inning management a lot. This is a very big out to get right here with Matt Holliday lurking in the on deck circle. To retire Carpenter right here. You've got Holliday leading off in the fourth, which is right where you want him. With a runner in scoring position in a scoreless game, you want to really bear down on Matt Carpenter.
There's a Cubs ace who is on the disabled list with a strained quad. He's hoping to miss just 2 starts. One and two. Ryan in 3 starts without a win. A 1.33 ERA. He's gotten 4 runs in support in those 3 outings. The kick, the 1-2 pitch. We'll do it again. And fouled away.
Now, I don't know if we've seen a 3-start stretch for Ryan Dempster where he has thrown the ball as well as he did to begin this season. Very aggressive, a lot of movement, a lot of strikes.
First 2 batters of the inning, the 7 and 8 hitters with singles, Descalso and Robinson. But then Lynn struck out trying to bunt. For call, flied out. And Volstad ahead of Matt Carpenter. Another 1-2 pitch and a line shot, base hit. Here comes the throw by DeJesus toward the plate. Safe. Descalso got in, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. Also on the play, Carpenter advancing to second on that throw. Good effort by DeJesus.
And David has shown a strong, accurate arm going all the way back to the games in the Cactus League down in Arizona. Gets to this ball on a couple of hops. Just far enough on that first base side to Steve Clevenger that by the time he gets the tag back in front of the plate, Descalso gets that foot on the plate. Cardinals on the board.
And now Holliday with 2 in scoring position. Sliders outside. Inside. Holliday acquired from the A's in 2009. And then after that season re-signed to a 7-year contract. He is locked in through 2016 with a club option for the following year. 5-time All-Star. He's won 4 Silver Sluggers. Certainly a little more pressure is on his shoulders after Albert Pujols left via free agency. He's got Carlos Beltran, Lance Berkman is on the DL, David Freese. His career is starting to blossom. Cardinals offensively have been in pretty good shape here to start the season. The best run differential in the National League. Plus 34 coming into the season. There's Mark McGuire, their hitting coach. Actually, last year, Bob, they were doing okay even with Albert Pujols struggling to start the year, and then of course he got hot. And that was all she wrote. They led the league in runs, hits on base percentage. The only thing they didn't do well is they couldn't stay out of the double play ball, hitting to 169 double plays. Still 2-2.
Now Holiday may find himself carrying more of the load this year. You know that at some point this season Carlos Beltran's going to find his way onto the disabled list. It's almost a foregone conclusion. He's been to the DL each of the last 4 seasons. I guess if you're Mike Matheny and the Cardinals, you just hope you can ham and egg it, you know, get Berkman back before you lose Beltran for any amount of time, and so forth and so on throughout the year.
Well, Matt Carpenter becomes a key guy then, because you can move Berkman to the right, where he's played a lot. Carpenter can fill in at first. But this team has certainly shown the ability to overcome injuries, as they did last year with Adam Wainwright not throwing a pitch all season. Another 2-2 to Holiday, and now it's a full count. It's been a long at bat. Beltran on deck, first base open. And the Cardinals out to a 1-0 lead. Bounce back to Volstad. And that's the inning. Cardinals get the first run on the Carpenter single. 1-0. Blog on WGNTV.com. The blog is brought to you by Jeff Vukovich, Nationwide agent serving the area for 33 years. Remember, Nationwide is on your side. Ooh. I have a post on Brian LaHare. Check out Andre Dawson visiting WGN this morning. WGNTV.com. And we're getting ready for Stats Sunday from Philadelphia this coming Sunday. Have a little tutorial on batting average on balls in play, which will be fun.
Every time I hear tutorial, I get a little nervous.
Oh, it's a fun one, though. We'll call it a BABIP junket.
Out.
It's Volstad. Swings and misses. Don't mean to laugh, but ooh. Might be seeing the replay of that in the Cubs clubhouse down the road on the blooper reel.
Yeah, you've heard basketball players shooting fadeaway jump shots. That's kind of a fadeaway swing right there. Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me. Oh. Oh, we'll definitely see that swing again and again and again. I guarantee you.
As will be telling Chris, don't quit your day job. Curve for a strike to DeJesus. Ground ball, and it gets through.
Wrigleyville Rooftops has premier seating for up to 200 guests for corporate gatherings, family reunions, and bachelor or bachelorette parties. Individual and group tickets are available for all games. For more details, go to www.wrigleyvillerooftops.com or call 773-248-ROOF.
Kick and a pitch to Campana. And he gives another fan behind the Cubs dugout a souvenir. Hey, we want to give a birthday shout out to Bobby Miller from Skokie, Illinois. Big Cub fan. Bobby mentions your insight into the intricacy of baseball, and that it's fabulous. We agree, Bobby.
And our Stats Sunday feature that we're having this year on WGN, I'm hoping that somewhere in these obscure new sabermetric statistics we can explain why I wasn't a better hitter.
Okay. We'll do it. Jesus was running. They'll stay out of a potential double play, although not so sure they would have turned it with Campana running. He's out. I was going to mention, I was just perusing your numbers on Baseball Reference. I don't know if your batting average on balls in play is something that they looked at, because career started in 1981, but your OPS plus, which takes park factor into consideration, was 106. So anything above 100 is good.
Nice.
So you were an above average hitter.
Is it too late to renegotiate retroactively?
Well, take your position into consideration in the ballpark, because let's face it, if you play half your games at Great American Ballpark versus Petco Park, it's going to affect your numbers.
No question. And anybody who ever spent any amount of time at Candlestick Park would probably agree with me when I say it's very likely that Willie Mays would have been the all-time home run leader had he not played 81 games a year at Candlestick Park. It changed his swing. It changed the kind of hitter that Willie Mays was playing in that ballpark. Put Willie in Great American Ballpark for 81 games a year. Whew.
Those Cub fans have a piece of the Marlins home run sculpture on their head.
It's the actual living home run sculpture here.
Attempt at second. Well, they got to Jesus last night, but not here.
Now, last night, a completely different situation. It was a sacrifice bunt situation, and De Jesus got out into no man's land when Campana bunted through the ball, and Molina picked him off easily at second base.
Swing and a miss. Castro strikes out and the inning is over. So after 3, it's 1-0 St. Louis. Started 20 minutes late due to rain, and the Cardinals have a 1-0 lead here in the 4th inning. Carlos Beltran takes ball 1 outside. A bizarre little note from 2004 for Carlos Beltran. He was with Kansas City and he was named to the All-Star team. But wasn't originally eligible to play because he was selected as an AL reserve. But remember, he got traded prior to the All-Star break from Kansas City to Houston. He's going to bounce out to Barney. A couple of days before the break, Ken Griffey Jr. tore his hamstring, and Beltran was named as a replacement, becoming the first player ever to be chosen for one All-Star team and wind up on the other side. Now, Tony La Russa no longer managing anybody, but Bob, he's going to manage the National League. And the game will be in Kansas City this summer. And it counts.
Still think it'd be kind of fun if Major League Baseball would do like hockey is doing now with their All-Star game. You know, have the fans vote like they always do. Even though I'm not in big favor of that, but you know, pick the guys that deserve to go to the All-Star game and then pick 2 captains, one from each league, and you can select from the entire list. Put your teams together and go get them. Of course, then we wouldn't know who to give home field advantage to in the World Series.
Hall of Famer John McGraw was the only other retired manager to manage in the All-Star game. He managed the National League in the first ever All-Star game in 1933 after he retired the year before. Still 0-2 to Freeze.
Of course, that idea of selecting 2 captains and letting them pick the All-Star teams would create some psychological issues from whoever got picked last.
Right. In hockey, the guy who gets picked last, they all remind him, but you still are an all-star, so it's not the worst thing in the world. The dirt to make it 1-2. Dusty Baker managed the NL All-Star team in 2003. After the Giants went to the World Series the year before. So he was with the Cubs, and not the team he went to the World Series with. Off the plate inside. See Wrigley Field like you never have before. Go behind the scenes and get an insider's look at nearly 100 years of history in this legendary ballpark. Guided Wrigley Field tours may include visits to the press box, clubhouses, and dugouts, as well as a chance to actually step on the field. For more info or to purchase tickets, go to Cubs.com. Tour sizes are limited and sell out fast, so get your tickets today. That'll be a fair ball behind third. Ian Stewart gets Freeze.
Hey fans, stay tuned for the 7th inning stretch, brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot.
Jason Alexander looks a little different. The former assistant to the traveling secretary, right? The New York Yankees. We look forward to that. Fly ball. Molina retired by Soriano. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 1-zip Cardinals. Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers for their support of local youth baseball leagues. Through the Chevy Youth Baseball program, the local Chevrolet dealers support over 30,000 young ball players in their communities. These local Chevy dealers provide leagues with equipment kits, instructional clinics, and financial support. From the big leagues to the youth leagues, Chevy is truly the official vehicle of baseball. Quite a find, Lance Lynn. Jumping out of the Cardinal bullpen and into the rotation. He's been excellent to start the season. He's trying to beat the Cubs for the second time already this year as Brian LaHair swings and misses. Now, last year for Lynn, he had a 3.12 ERA and 18 appearances, only 2 starts as a rookie for the eventual champs. His regular season ended in August with a left oblique strain. As LaHair powers that one to deep left center to tie the game. Into the bleachers for the second straight game. He goes opposite field, and it's 1-1.
Take a look at our Nissan drive of the game. That ball is actually down and in. Brian LaHair pulls his hands in a little bit, gets the barrel of the bat on the ball. I'll tell you what, if he keeps hitting home runs the opposite field, he's going to start getting pitches from the middle of the plate in, and then you're going to see some long homers to right field. Get to a Nissan dealer for great deals on innovation you can count on. Innovation for all.
Third home run against the Cardinals this season for Brian LaHair. So back to even at 1 apiece. This is 1-1 to Soriano. On the ground to the shortstop for call. So Lynn's season seemingly ending in August, and remember the Cardinals were way back in the wild card before that furious September. They were 10.5 games out at one point, so he probably figured, I'm done. Well, they make the postseason. He's on the roster for the final 2 rounds. He makes 10 relief appearances in the NLCS and the World Series and wins 2 games. That doesn't happen very often.
No. And wasn't Lance Lynn the guy that was involved when the Cardinals had some problems with the bullpen phone, and he had to enter the game and issue an intentional walk because he wasn't really the pitcher that Tony La Russa wanted to come into the ballgame?
It was in Texas. Yeah. Outside, 3-0 to Ian Stewart with Steve Clevenger on deck.
Maybe some slight similarities between Lance Lynn and Jeff Samardzija as far as guys that pitched out of the bullpen last year, but because of their performance and because of the needs of the team, they find their way into the starting rotation, and both pitching extremely well in the early going here.
I talked to Jeff today, but it was about his at bat against Adam Wainwright.
Yep.
So you got some pitches to hit. He said, "Oh, that curveball." Oh man. And strike to Clevenger. Hair tied it last night in the 9th. Ties today's game in the 4th. Back to Lynn. They get 1, they get 2, and the inning is over. But LaHair led it off by finding the bleachers in left center. It's 1-1. Bank, the Curious Bank, member FDIC. Brian LaHare with a game-tying home run, so we get into the 5th. Like it's cooled off maybe a tick or two, and a little more cloud cover as we start the top of the 5th, and a strike on Descalso. Led off the 3rd with a single and later scored on a 2-out RBI hit by Matt Carpenter.
Back-to-back straight changeups that time from Chris Volstad. That's a pitch that he's gradually incorporating more and more into his arsenal, especially against left-handed hitters.
Sinker that time, and it's popped down the left field line and caught by Soriano in foul territory. First out.
Center fielder Shane Robinson.
Shane Robinson is 1 for 1. Joe Madden and the Tampa Bay Rays have their first themed road trip starting this weekend in Texas. They always have some sort of theme with their road attire. I like this one, calling it their minimalist trip. 1 pair of jeans, 3 shirts, 1 pair of shoes, and you go right down the list.
Sounds like every other road trip to me.
We don't know about undergarments.
Don't want to know. Ron Renicky up in Milwaukee started to do kind of the same thing. Of course, Joe Madden, Ron Renicky, both coming from the Mike Scioscia school of managing. Very, very serious between the lines, but they like to have a little fun on travel days and in the clubhouse.
Up in the air for Tony Campana. 2 down. A nice note from Colin Wires, sabermetrician, Baseball Prospectus. Your career VORP was 129.8. Your true average was 268, which was above the average of 260. So we're working on it here. You're going to ask me to explain what all those things mean, right?
Yeah. My VORP, is that what you said?
Yeah, value over replacement player, and true average measures total offensive value scaled to batting average. Hey, you asked for it. That's a good line for you, Bob, when you meet people. I had a VORP of 129.8.
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
What's your VORP?
Called strike 3. A 1-1 tie from Wrigley here in the 5th.
Profile on Yadier Molina, the Cardinals' fine backstop. 4th round pick back in the 2000 draft. 4 straight Gold Glove awards. He leads all active catchers, throwing out over 44% of the runners attempting to steal on him. With his pickoff of David DeJesus at second base last night, he now has 39 since the 05 season. The next closest is Miguel Olivo with 16. Xfinity Home. Xfinity Home offers state-of-the-art features that help you stay connected to your home and family anytime and anywhere.
Eight, 9, and 1 for the Cubs against Lance Lynn. Lynn, as I mentioned off the top, had allowed 1 run in each of his first 3 starts. Darwin Barney out into deep left. Holiday back to the wall. Just missed a home run. It's a double right below the basket. He missed it by about a foot. Well, as the saying goes, an extra biscuit for breakfast and he would have had a homer. It was really close.
One more donut and that ball's out of here. Slider out on outer third of the plate. Barney gets great extension, a lot of backspin. Just didn't quite get enough of it, chasing Matt Holliday all the way to the vines. Ball hits just below the basket. Good start to the inning here for the Cubs.
Well, Lynn has allowed 1 run in each start. Well, he's at that limit here today as Volstad will try to get Barney to third for DeJesus. Cardinal cornerman already way in. And he pops it foul out of play. We've got the basket that juts out, which can kind of steal a home run away from that wall. Well, that's as close as it gets.
No kidding.
You can hit the wall and it's a home run as long as it lands in the basket. 0-2 to Volstad. Matt Carpenter is about 15 feet away from Volstad when that pitch crosses a hitting zone.
That's why in this particular situation you want to bunt that ball to the third base side of the field. David Freese to come in and make the play, keep it away from Lance Lynn, the pitcher. That first baseman is right down his throat.
And he bounces to first. That'll get it done on an 0-2. 5th inning is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, the curious bank, member FDIC.
After failing to get the sac bunt down, Chris Volstad does the next best thing, a tardy swing that hits a little chopper to the right side. The only play Carpenter has is to get the out at first. Darwin Barney now at third base with one out in the inning.
They'll bat against a drawn-in infield. Outside corner and a strike. Troy Tulowitzki with a hit in the seventh, the first for the Rockies as they broke up James McDonald's quest for history. Tyler Colvin, a sac fly to give the Rockies a 2-1 win in game one of a doubleheader at PNC Park. 0-1 to DeJesus. That missed low. Way outside that time. 2-1. Good eye. 3-1. Campana on deck.
Mentioned that DeJesus has been hitting the ball hard to center field and left center field over the last week or 10 days. With that in mind, the Cardinals are shaded over that way a little bit. And Carlos Beltran in right field, probably about 4 or 5 steps more shallow than he would normally play with a left-handed hitter at the plate.
Now to look at our BMW in-game box score. As you gander at it for a limited time, get incredible lease deals on the 2011 BMW 3 Series. Visit chicagolandbmw.com for more information. Campana shows bunt, takes a curve for a strike. Go ahead run is at third with DeJesus the runner at first. Tony has been talking with Niger Morgan about a foot race. Doubting their managers will allow them to do that, but I'd like to see it.
Well, they used to have a skills challenge during the All-Star break in Major League Baseball. Until I believe it was Barry Larkin injured his arm on the cutoff and relay section of the skills competition.
Put an end to that.
Yeah. Be fun to see. Get the fastest players from both leagues, get down to Cactus League or something, line them up one day.
Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Lance Lynn.
That's a situation where Tony Campana has got to make contact. Just put the ball in play on the ground somewhere. Very little chance the Cardinals would be able to turn two. The Cubs more than likely would have been able to take the lead on a ground ball. Just have to make contact.
It's up to Castro here with 2 outs. Sinker low and inside. Ball strike. Bob, I've never heard of this before. Hunter Pence yesterday in the morning had an MRI on his left shoulder. And he played last night and hit a home run. Have you ever heard of a guy in the starting lineup at the same day as getting an MRI?
I saw the report that he was going to get the MRI, and I mentioned on the air that there was some question whether he'd be able to play in the series this weekend in Philadelphia.
I guess the answer is yes.
I guess he's okay. Yeah.
Charlie Manuel, he was fine, so Charlie put him in and he hit a home run, and the Phillies beat the Diamondbacks. Castro was the Cubs' only All-Star last year. You can vote for him again at MLB.com. For Call, will throw to first, and the Cubs waste an opportunity after the leadoff double by Barney. 2 left. It's 1-1 to the 6th. Schedule 7-game trip through Philadelphia and Cincinnati, and we'll have games 2 and 3 from Philly. Special half-hour leadoff man on Saturday at 5:30, and we'll hit the air at 12:30 Central Time on Sunday. Ford, manufacturers of more fuel-efficient vehicles than any other brand. Check them out at your local Ford store or online at localfordstores.com. A strike to Rafael for Call. Top of the order for the Cardinals. Chris Volstad's been very good. So has Lance Lynn. And that one punched on the ground into left. As the Cardinals have the leadoff hitter on for the 2nd time today. The other time was the 3rd when they got their lone tally.
First baseman number 13, Matt Carpenter.
Mentioned Furcal still runs well. He's in the top 25 all time on the stolen base list with 304 in his career. Here's Carpenter, who knocked in that first run with a single in the third, plating Descalzo. There's some groups in attendance here this afternoon. Some students and faculty from Sidney, Montana High School honoring Sherry Arnold, a teacher who passed away earlier this year. There are 32 kids and 9 adults from St. Jude's School in Joliet, Illinois, here at the ballpark today. And a nice note from Kathy Andre. She's got a birthday today as well. Furcal was running as Carpenter will bounce out to Barney. So a runner at second with 1 out.
Saw the approach by Rafael Furcal with that leadoff base hit through the left side of the infield. I'm surprised that more left-handed hitters don't try to do the same thing. You saw Matt Carpenter that time roll over, hit a ground ball to the right side. That's normally what happens when you try to pull that right-handed sinker away. Furcal, on the other hand, just stayed right on it, slapped a ground ball through the left side.
Holiday has bounced out to the pitcher twice. Long at bat his last time up in the third inning. Inside for a ball. I was talking to Matt yesterday before the game about that headfirst slide as the Rockies won the one-game playoff against the Padres in 07 to get them into the postseason, as he will line out to DeJesus. A wild play at the plate. Michael Barrett could not hang on to Brian Giles' throw. Holiday ended up with a nasty cut on his chin. Barrett actually stepped on his hand, and Holiday still has a scar on his hand, and as a result, still some debate as to whether or not he ever did touch the plate, but they called him safe. It's all that matters.
Replay.
He said guys has been giving him, were giving him the business for going head first into the plate. He was actually going to run over Michael Barrett and ended up sliding instead. Fly ball off the bat of Carlos Beltran deep to left, and it's off the wall. He just missed a homer. It's an RBI double for Carlos Beltran for call in, and it's 2-1.
Beltran, following Rafael Furcal's lead in this inning, stays on that sinker away, drives it to the opposite field. Yeah, real good decision that time by Soriano. Went back to the middle of the warning track, realized he was not going to be able to make a play up against the vine, so he backed off the wall, played it on a hop. Got a strong throw back to the infield, but Beltran in with an RBI double.
So St. Louis with its second lead of the game as Freese bounces foul. Olstad now set at the belt. Here's his 1-1 pitch as Beltran will just jog over to third. The Cubs basically let him have it. He has always been good about picking his spots in terms of stolen bases.
And all around baseball, we're seeing that a lot more this year. The runner at second base, Pitcher doesn't pay much attention. The middle infielders don't keep in close to the bag. They just go ahead and take it at third, regardless of the number of outs in the inning. The right-handed pull hitter at the plate and a sinker ball pitcher on the mound. You want your left side of the defense to hold their positions. Ian Stewart was playing extremely deep. They just conceded that bag at third to Carlos Beltran.
That is major trouble. A 2-run homer for Freese. And they've opened up a 4-1 lead. All the runs for the Cardinals today have come after 2 are out.
Third time through the lineup here, Len. The Cardinals are making adjustments on Chris Volstad. That pitch is off the plate, down and inside. But your third at bat of the ball game, after you've seen a number of those sinkers dive bombing down and in, it's incumbent upon you as a hitter to make an adjustment. And we've seen it this inning with Furcal, with Beltran, and now David Freese with lightning quick hands to get to a sinker inside.
This is the first lead for either team by more than 1 run in the series. Molina went around 1-2.
Chris Volstad has tried to hit that outside corner to the righties or inside on lefties with the sinker, but invariably it tails out over the plate or off the plate away from the lefties, down and into the righties. Talked about at the top of the show that 4-seam fastball he's been trying to work on, something he can elevate out over the plate just to change the batter's eye level. But his bread and butter pitch is that heavy sinker. It just always ends up on that arm side of the plate.
Diving stop, Darwin Barney from his knees. The lob to LaHare in time. But the Cardinals get 3, and it's now 4-1. Freese with a 2-run homer, turning a 1-run Cardinal lead into a 3-run bulge. Ryan LaHare with his 4th homer, another game tire earlier in the game. Visit your local Chicagoland Honda dealer today and test drive a 2012 Honda Accord. Laher will lead off the Cubs' sixth. Oh, 2. Lynn trying to start the year 4-0. He's 4-0 lifetime against the NL Central with a 1.51 ERA. Left-hander Scott Maine cranking it up. Two and two. Just a light sprinkle at the moment. Low and outside on a changeup. 3-2. Soriano will hit next. This is for call. That's out number 1.
Hey fans, don't miss your chance to experience the hottest new area in Chicago sports. The all-inclusive Budweiser patio is now open at Wrigley Field. For more information and to purchase tickets for the 2012 Cubs season, call 773-404-4200 or visit Cubs.com/premier.
Foul strike to Soriano. Houston leading Milwaukee 7-5 in the top of the 9th. Up in Wisconsin. Ryan Braun, Corey Hart, Travis Ishikawa have all homered for the Brewers. For Braun, it's his 4th. Hart with his 6th. Swing and a miss.
The Brewers are going to extend their home run lead in the National League. Seems like they have multiple players go deep just about every day. I don't know about this at bat with 2 strikes already, but I think Soriano's getting really close to going into one of his hot streaks. Squaring the ball up with a lot more regularity. That one.
It's the curveball for strikeout number 7 for Lynn.
Short breaking ball never really quite gets to the plate. Hits right out in front at 78. Just can't hold up. Soriano had 3 hits in the ball game last night. Hard single to right field in his first at bat in the ball game today. I think he's just about ready to get hot.
Phillies with a 1-0 lead at Arizona in the bottom of the 3rd. Cole Hamels and Trevor Cahill pitching matchup. And we do see the Phillies. We will not see Cliff Lee. And will not see the right side of their infield, at least the starting first and second baseman. Ryan Howard, Chase Utley on the DL. Call will glove and get Stewart. Shutdown inning for Lance Lynn after his team gave him a 3-run lead.
Only happy when it rains. That's Shirley Manson in garbage. She must be ecstatic today. That's our Bud Fan Cam, brought to you by Budweiser. Great times are waiting. Grab some Buds.
Left-hander Scott Main swings a breaking ball up there for a strike on Descalzo. Called strike 3. Pitch strikeout to start the inning.
Fastball inside part of the plate. I'll tell you, Scott Main with that low 3/4 delivery, big leg kick before firing onto home plate. He can freeze a lot of left-handed hitters.
And a nice note from Rena Smith, Pleasant View Nursing Home up in Monroe, Wisconsin. I was watching Cubs baseball on WGN. Robinson's 1 for 2. And in a 2-0 count, here it is. Low 3-0. That's a strike. Chris Volstad, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. All the runs scoring with 2 outs. 1 in the 3rd, 3 in the 6th. Called up from Iowa on Friday, and he cannot grab that liner off the bat of Robinson, who has a 1-out single.
I'll tell you, Robinson, for a little guy who runs very well, he takes a big hack up there at the plate. He does not get cheated. Kind of a poor man's Dustin Pedroia, if you will. He really gets on that back leg, smoked that one right back up the middle of the field.
Lynn squares, ball gets away from Clevenger, and that will allow Robinson to get the second. So now if Lynn can get a bunt down, he'll get Robinson to third, although there's 1 out, so he probably won't bunt at this point.
I would think with the lead in the ball game, Mike Matheny would probably turn his best hitting pitcher loose up there with the runner in scoring position.
Outside 2-0 on the Cardinal pitcher. Three and 0 for Call on deck. There's a strike. Chris Bosio on the phone. We'll see who gets up in the Cubs pen. Sean Camp, a right-hander. 3-2.
Camp's been busy in the early going this year. Already pitched in 8 ball games. It's one of those tough situations for a manager, Len. Got the left-hander Scott Maine on the mound. Rafael Furcal, the switch hitter in the on-deck circle. We've talked about it throughout the series. Much better from the right side of the plate. Leave Scott Maine in there to face Furcal from his strong side of the plate, knowing you've got a left-handed hitter after him in the lineup, or do you go to Sean Camp to put Furcal on the left side of the plate, and then Camp would more than likely have to face the left-handed hitting Carpenter? Decisions that we can ponder up here and look at the stats and take our own sweet time, but when you're down that dugout, you've got to make that decision and make it quickly.
Call it strike 3, 2 outs. A couple of Ks for Maine in the inning, both of the looking variety. Tickets are now available for the 2012 Cubs season, including the next homestand as the Dodgers and Braves come in May 4th through the 9th. To purchase tickets, visit Cubs.com, call 1-800-THE-CUBS, or visit the Wrigley Field box office. Ball 1-2 for Call. Led off the 6th with a single, and then with 2 outs scored on the Beltran double.
Good changeup that time by Scott Main, his 3rd best pitch, but something that's very valuable against a tough right-handed hitter. Rafael Furcal is just having a good offensive year up to this point, but from the right side of the plate, he was 7 for 13 before this at bat.
Big leg kick and a 1-1 is a strike, even though it popped out of Clevenger's mitt. Jeff Nelson still got a good look at it. 1-2.
Yeah, so did the Cardinals dugout on that first base side. They've been giving it to Jeff Nelson pretty regularly for that low strike that he's called. To his credit, for both teams.
For Call's career, he has been a little better as a right-handed hitter, mainly in the slugging department. He really opens up the throttle from the right side. I think that's the case for a lot of switch hitters. Guys are natural right-handed hitters. They hit more for average from the left side and take swings like that from the right side as Campana will get to the spot. And it's stretch time with Jason Alexander.
Conductor for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, actor and comedian Jason Alexander.
All right, you ready, everybody? Let's show them how we do this in Chicago. A 1, a 2, let's go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Shake it out. Do you care? Or it's root for the Cubbies. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Yeah! Let's show 'em what a rally looks like. Let's go!
Still working as Steve Clevenger will lead it off, and Jason Alexander in the booth with us after a fine rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Clevenger's out on 1 pitch, tag applied by Matt Carpenter. Very nice singing voice, and
oh, thank you, thank you. Only tens of thousands of dollars and years of training to accomplish that one song.
So George Costanza, we got to get into the baseball talk. The assistant to the traveling secretary.
Exactly.
Jason, how did that storyline start? obviously you're a baseball fan, and I mean that thing went on for years and years. It just
That
was a great part of the Seinfeld story.
It was indeed. That was Larry David living his Yankee dream. You know, it became a fantasy about if George started doing everything the opposite of his instincts, where would it lead? And Larry said, what would be the greatest job in the world? Working for the Yankees. And from there, it was all history.
Barney grounds out. Now, did Larry do Steinbrenner's voice?
Larry did Steinbrenner's voice. Some poor guy out of Central Casting did Steinbrenner's head and shoulders and arms. It was like working with a Muppet. And then eventually, for one episode, the man himself showed up.
Well, it had to be fun during the course of the time you were the assistant general manager of the Yankees. You got to meet a lot of the players and manager Buck Showalter.
I was Mr. Baseball. I had an open door every club I went to in the country.
Blake DeWitt will bat for Scott Maine. Well, I know you're an avid poker player, but I didn't know you were a magician rather.
Whatever it takes to get a check. Although the magic checks are not exactly something you want to raise a family on. But yeah, no, I started out as a magician. Had I been better at that, you would not know who the hell I am.
It's low and inside.
Got a couple of boys. Athletes, actors, singers. What?
I have no athletes in my family. I do have one following in my footsteps, and another one who's a bit of a gymnast. But there we go. There we go. Oh,
backup Carpenter, and he will take it unassisted.
I don't want to be blamed.
No, you won't be blamed. But thanks for stopping by. Great job with the stretch, Jason.
A pleasure. A pleasure.
4-1, St. Louis. Able to figure out Lance Lynn to this point. He seems to be on his way to a 4-0 start. The Cubs have come back-to-back games against the Cardinal bullpen, as Sean Camp will try to keep St. Louis at 4 as we play the 8th inning.
Great thing about Chicago dogs, they're so multicolored.
Good eats. Oh yeah, you got the mustard and relish and tomatoes. Need a napkin to go with it.
That's why they put sleeves on shirts.
That's what my son thinks. Carpenter foul tips for the strikeout. I tell you, Bob, we see all kinds of performers up here who do the 7th inning stretch. Some are very nervous. They've never sung in front of anybody. Some don't know the words to the song. And then you have Jason Alexander, who I feel like could have conducted a 30-minute concert up here. He's got a great voice, very calm, no problem. That's how you do the stretch. They get Holiday at first.
A little aside, you know, after the buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks, he says, "Do you care?" I don't care if I never get back.
I want to send out congratulations to Barb and Ed Swanson, longtime Cub season ticket holders. They're celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary.
Right.
Beltran with a go-ahead RBI double. Missed the inside to make it 2-1.
Well, that's a pitch that hurts really any right-handed pitcher against Carlos Beltran. You try to hit that inside corner, a dangerous pitch to begin with. And you don't get the call on a borderline pitch. You hesitate to go back in there again.
And ball 4 bounced in front of home plate.
Third baseman David Freese.
Breaking ball outside to Freese, cranked a 2-run homer in the 6th. There's Mitchell Boggs up in the Cardinal bullpen. So final, the Astros beat the Brewers 7-5. Runner goes, Beltran safe.
That was on Sean Camp right there, Len. Just same timing, first 3 deliveries here to David Freese. He did not make Carlos Beltran stop over there at first base. Back in the 6th, he had an uncontested steal of 3rd, and this time a walking lead allows him to steal second base.
298 career steals. He's only been caught 42 times in his career.
He actually timed it up on the pitch before, but you can see he's got his momentum moving. Sean Camp never made him come to a complete stop over there at first base. And gets in on his belly underneath the tag by Darwin Barney.
Guy has certainly been impressive. Lance Lynn. And driven out into the gap. They're going to get another run. And another 2-out run at that, as Freese picks up his 3rd RBI of the day, and it's 5-1. Another guy, you talked about Beltran. Freese has had a very tough time early in his career staying healthy, but if he does, he's poised for a big year.
Right, he consistently gets the barrel of the bat on the ball, as he proved last year in the postseason. He can be a shaky defender at times down there at third base, but there is no disputing the fact that he can swing that bat.
Molina normally in this spot trying to hit the ball to right field, but with a 4-run lead, he's not trying to just poke one into right. Not on that kind of swing.
Nope. Just to reinforce what we've been talking about with Molina, with nobody on base in his career, he's a .252 hitter.
Soriano has it.
Men on base 301, runners in scoring position 296.
There you have it. 5-1 Cardinals.
Bat 12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, and video highlights, and more. Text it BAT to 31826 or visit Cubs.com for details.
Lance Lynn's longest major league outing was his last one. 7 innings at Pittsburgh. He is trying to get at least an out here in the 8th to set a new career high for innings pitched. David DeJesus looks at ball 1. He's been on twice in 3 tries. Flied to the warning track, singled, and walked. There's a wind in the 1-1. Curveball is outside. Paul Maholm and Roy Halladay on Friday night to start the 4-game series in Philly. We'll have Randy Wells and Joe Blanton here on WGN Saturday evening. I took your umbrella.
Yeah, I wondered where it went.
Ground ball up the middle for Call. A nice scoop right behind second base. Call with a couple of errors in the first 2 games of this series, but nicely handled there. 1 down in the 8th.
Cheating that way just a little bit for David DeJesus to begin with, but shows he still has good range, going right behind the bag at second to make that play.
Campana on the ground to Freeze.
Well, even though it resulted in a quick out that time by Tony Campana, that's what you want to see him do. Fortunately, hit that one right at Freeze at third base, but if you feed either direction, that ball gets through into left field. On the ground.
Bad news for the Yankees. It's like Michael Pineda, whom they got from Seattle in the Jesus Montero deal, has a torn labrum. You know how tricky those shoulders are too in terms of long term, even when you come back. Shallow center, birds scattering, and the Redbirds making the catch. That's for Call. Lynn cruising through a 5-1. Fun with decals. Here's Carlos Marmol, the closer, pitching with his team down 4. He gave up the home run to Matt Holliday last night, and right back out there getting an inning of work here today. 1-0 on Descalzo. Bouncer to LaHare, who will take it unassisted. Let's step aside and see what's coming up on WGN.
Center fielder Shane Robinson.
Probably going to be Kyle McClellan in the bottom of the ninth. Lance Lynn, career high 8 innings on 110 pitches. 1 run for the 4th consecutive start to begin the year. One 1-0 to Robinson. Awkward swing on a slider. There's a pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball. The ground ball backhanded by Castro in the hole. Safe. Good strong throw to LaHare, but Robinson runs well. It's a base hit.
Just an extra tick before getting rid of that ball. He did make a strong throw, but right there, that one extra little crow hop to get some momentum before delivering across the diamond made it a very close play in the estimation of the first base umpire Bill Welke. Robinson beat the throw.
That's 3 hits for Shane Robinson. And Eric Komatsu will bat for Lynn. Second career 3-hit game for Robinson. They both come this year. Komatsu, a Rule 5 pick from the Washington Nationals this past December. Big swing, fouled it back. Had never played above Double-A ball going into this season. Chris Maloney, the first base coach. A couple of words of wisdom for Robinson. I think he said run, and they pitch out, and he's still safe. Second career steal for Robinson.
Clevenger just a little bit too deliberate. Gets out there in good position, but you can see he's almost stationary when he received that ball from Carlos Marmol. Ideally, you clear home plate into that right-handed batter's box and then charge that ball. Ideally, on a pitch out, a catcher will release that ball way out into the fair territory of the infield.
Marmol recovers and gets the out to knocking that ball down with his bare hand. Runner at third, 2 outs, and for Call, the batter.
Fortunately, that ball wasn't hit very hard. You could see a little piece of wood fly off the bat as Komatsu made contact. A little broken bat tapper back to the mound. Nice play by Marmol with the bare hand.
It's going to be a fair ball right out in front of home plate. Clevenger pounces and gets him. And we'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Cubs trail by 4. Crew from Wrigley Field as the Cardinals trying to salvage a finale after the Cubs beat them in their final at bat Monday and Tuesday night. And righty Kyle McClellan will try to get the final 3 outs. Nobody up in the Cardinal bullpen. That would only change if the Cubs get a base runner or 2. The Hare couldn't hold 1 ball, 1 strike. Got him on the curve.
With all the advanced scouting, Len, all the video work that teams do in preparation from a series, Brian LaHair just kind of locked up on that overhand curveball in a 2-strike count. Keep an eye on this next road trip to Philadelphia and Cincinnati and see if we don't see some overhand curveballs to Brian LaHair.
Soriano fly ball caught by Matt Holliday. 2 quick outs. Kyle McClellan made 17 starts last year for the Cardinals, and then he was moved to the bullpen in late July after they got Edwin Jackson. He didn't sulk though when he went to the pen. In August he went 3-0 with a 1.06. He just told Tony La Russa, whatever you want me to do, I'll do it with a smile on my face. So that's what the results showed. Oh, 0-1. Bell tie slider for a strike to Stewart. 0-2. The pitch. Ground ball to first. This will do it as Carpenter will step on the bag. And Lance Lynn improves to 4-0 on the year. 2 of those wins against the Cubs, who take 2 of 3 in this series. But the final today, the Cardinals 5 and the Cubs 1.